Good morning, everybody. We're back.
Hey, what's happening?
We are doing, this is video 2 of 6. We told you guys we're going to be with you for the next 6 days. So we were on last night. If you guys didn't catch the video, it's on our Brittany and Kevin page. And then this morning, we're going to be talking about how the valleys or the pits of your relationship affect your family, your kids, your relationship as a whole. So we showed up in our, still in our pajamas. We got our coffees up here that we might be drinking on throughout the morning. So if you guys are in your pajamas too, please jump on and join us. So let's talk about how our relationships affect our families, which is a huge topic for anybody with kids, or even in general, just families and relationships you have with your family. So the first thing is something that we talk about a lot with our clients is, you know, when they talk about, hey, we're struggling with co-parenting, we're struggling with the kids throwing crazy tantrums, all A through Z that could be happening. So we remind them, you know, you guys, so in our instance, we hold the keys to what our family life looks like, what our energy looks like, because we're the adults. We're the ones who are the most conscious beings in our little family unit to help Phoenix kind of guide through when energies are too much. So today we want to kind of dive in and let's talk about the kids for a second, which we all love talking about.
We love kids.
Too bad Phoenix isn't here. He's with Grandma this morning. So kids feel energy, and it is scientifically proven, even if you guys aren't like spiritual or anything like that, kids feel energies. You know, we all do. People feel energies, and we talk a lot about those in our videos. I talk a lot about them just in general with anybody who knows me. And if you have a child who's like an indigo child or an empath or anything like that, and if you don't know what those are, Google them, ask us. We have people actually, you had somebody recently reach out and they're like, how do you know that your kid's like an indigo child? Like, how do you know this and that? So we sent her some articles and kind of told her, you know, where we're from, and we're at a very spiritual, conscious space in our lives. So for us, like, we just recognized, I knew even being pregnant with Phoenix, he's going to be more in tune, I'm more in tune, and we're going to teach him how to kind of navigate those feelings. So let's take a minute to try to like visualize, because I'm a visual person. What does energy look like? So especially for our kids, right? And this is for everybody, but we're kind of focusing on the kids right now. So imagine these little human beings, right? Walking through life, and anything that is around them energetically, they're like magnetizing inwards, right? They're just taking it all in. So sometimes I tell people, you know, energy is like cords. So like if we're in anything, like there's cords of energy running through us, that also when Phoenix is in our vicinity, it's running to him. And you can kind of imagine like sparks of energy too. And when kids are just getting like overwhelmed, you know, whether that's, some kids get overwhelmed at like the playground because there's too much going on. There's just too much energies, and it's not even necessarily bad. It's just a lot of energy. And imagine this little being taking in all these sparks and all these cords of energies, and like it's a power surge sometimes. And, you know, we talk about like terrible 2s, terrible 3s and stuff like that. But what if we're flipping how to look at some of those? Now, given we're parents, we understand there are definitely just tantrums and there are phases that they're growing through, and that's okay. But what if it's being looked at sometimes in a different way? Like a power surge, and they need our help to calm down and to come back to center. And it's our job as parents to help give them those tools. You know, we talk about tools in our relationship, but we're also teaching our kids. So looking at it as a power surge, you know, we're going to talk today kind of about our experiences and how we handle and deal with them, because we promised you guys we're going to give you some tips and tricks on when you're in these scenarios. So do you want to take over on some story time?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Phoenix, you know, let's talk about, you know, feeling energies and stuff. So if we are even just the 3 of us, we'll start small. At home, and Kevin and I have had some sort of something, and we're triggering. We are very conscious, and this is what we coach people on all the time, is being very conscious of how you're showing up in front of your kids, right? So even if we're in it, we really, really, really are consciously not raising our voices. We're not fighting in front of him. We're trying to really keep the space calm because he feels us. And the funny thing is, even if we're having a conversation like this, but we're talking about well, I'd really appreciate if we could do this differently or whatever, and we're going through what our trigger is, he feels it. And he will literally tell us, he'll be like, stop talking. Stop. No more talking. Don't fight. And it's funny because we're not even like fighting, we're talking, and he just feels it. So we've had to be even like more conscious about, all right, well, that doesn't work. So we literally can't even talk about it, even on a very conscious level of speaking. So what do we do? So I know, like, for Kevin, one of his big things is gym and working out. And like, people, you hear this, like when you're going through stuff, like they're like, oh, just go to the gym, go do yoga, go whatever. There's truth in that.
There is truth in that.
Not so much for me, so I'll let him take that over.
Yeah, I mean, when we have times that we need to have adult talk, and we can't, we literally are so conscious about him and how he grows up, and really, like, he's a sponge. So whatever he hears and sees, he's going to reproduce. He's going to do it, and he's going to say it. So it's very important in my mind, and I'm not perfect. She's actually amazing at it.
I'm not perfect either.
She's not perfect either, but she's amazing, and it really helps me. I mean, this is the whole relationship. Like, you've got to show up for each other, and you've got to help each other, because we're not going to be perfect, and we really just need to be there for each other, because why else are you in this relationship? Why else are you in a family? You usually are there for your kids. You show up for your kids, and to be conscious about what you say and what you do and how your actions are for your children growing up. I mean, let's talk about the world today. I mean, if we could really dive into it, it comes down to the home life and where these individuals that are lashing out and doing things, it's what they grew up with. It's how they were treated. It's an experience that they had. So it's very important for me in my head to be like, if I'm frustrated, if I'm having an issue, if I'm upset, if I feel an emotion, I need to be very conscious about how I talk to her or Phoenix. And if it's something that I cannot be very kind with, then I need to jump out. I need to go to the gym. I need to go for a walk. I need to go get the mail. I need to, like, get some air. And like we talked about last night, do a little meditation, do a clearing, I choose happiness, and we're reading something about you can control your happiness, and I choose to have happiness. So things are going to bombard you all day long, but you get the choice. And my choice is to be very conscious with Phoenix, because I don't want him growing up hating the world or hating me or hating us or mom and dad always fought, this and that and whatever. Just don't want that. Don't want that in their lives.
Yeah, and I mean, bouncing off of that, so kids are sponges, we hear that, and it's funny because we'll laugh about it, because Phoenix will remember, like, the craziest things. He'll remember things from, like, months ago, like, scenarios.
Remember that one time when we were at the park? Like, he literally vividly brings it up, and you have to be like, oh my gosh, wow, he really remembers that.
Yeah, you're like, it's not a story, he remembers. So, we're reminding each other all the time, he's a sponge. He's seeing, he's hearing. And I told Kevin, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I said, the thing is, like, he is categorizing right now how little he is. He's almost 3. He's building in his mind, like, what is love? What is communication? What is forgiveness? What is respect? All of these things that by the time, I think we heard somebody say, like, by the time you're 7 years old, that stuff's, like, solidified. Like, whatever they've seen as love and respect and any of that, that's there. And that's pretty young. Like, that's a very young thing. And then we grow into these adults with all of these little compartments that we've learned, and that's how we live. So it's very easy to say, oh, well, they won't understand, and they don't, see, and they don't feel, and they don't whatever, they're just throwing a tantrum.
It's not true.
We really beg to differ with that, because we get compliments on Phoenix and how he is such a little lover and how he's so kind to people. And we don't have that many tantrums, luckily, but we are coming into 3, and we know that we're seeing them more. And we also know that he's feeling energies. So we have to decide, like, is he having a power surge? Is he having an energy? Or is it something that he's actually just throwing a tantrum because Kevin got the bigger cup of ice cream than Phoenix did, So these are just things we wanted to bring up and think about, So for whether it's the masculine, the feminine, or whoever in the relationship, if it's you going through the power surge and you're having too much and you can't get a grip on it, it's okay to like step away.
Yeah, it's okay.
And don't like stomp out the door either. Kevin is really good about like, he sits down and puts his shoes on and he's like, I'm going to go to the gym.
Gentle. I mean,
Yes.
I'm a gentleman that's what gentlemen are, right? We have to teach them, like, if you're going to be angry and stomp out, well, guess what? Your kids are going to do it too. And you're going to be like, where did they get that from? Hello? They get it. They get it from TV. They get it from people. Like, they get it. They don't just fall out of the womb and be like, and just grouchy. Like, they're hungry. They're sad. Something happened. Like, their world is so small. And we don't remind ourselves, like,
how simple their minds.
We tell them where to go. We tell them what to eat. We try to give them options, but like they don't have a choice in life until they get older, and they only learn from what we say and what we do to them. Mm-hmm. So going back inside is really important.
It is. And that's something that we talk about. We really are doing this series mainly on relationships and how they affect all different parts of us. We also talk a lot about parenting and co-parenting. You guys have seen videos on us. We have a great co-parenting relationship with Phoenix's dad.
An amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler is phenomenal, and he teaches me every day. He teaches us every day, and he's a good unit, and we're so blessed and just honored to be in his space and have him co-parent Phoenix with him. And then Eros, like, he's going to be second daddy to Eros, so it's kind of cool, and you'll get to see that in the future.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but I just had to give him kudos because he's phenomenal.
No, I'm glad. No, it's good. But it's taken a lot of work there, too. We have people that have messaged us, and we got a message even this morning that I have a feeling is about a co-parenting thing, because it's a friend of mine who we've talked about that before. It's a lot of work, and we all remind each other, and even if you're in a relationship that the co-parenting isn't that great, that's okay too. And that's something that we would love to open up and help you guys with, because where your mind is, where you and your partner are, changes everything.
Totally.
It totally changes everything.
And when you come from understanding that you want happiness and you choose happiness, I mean, a very vague example is if you're out in the desert and you're like sick and you're like, you've been out there forever and you're walking, you come up to a house and you're like barely knocking on the door and they're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Like you were sick. What can I do for you? And you're like, food, right? You don't care what kind of food it is. You just need food in your body for nourishment. Same thing with happiness. Like, it doesn't matter who bombarded your happiness that day. You just need to exude happiness. You can't let people in the cars irritate you. You can't let that person at work irritate you. Mm-hmm. And when it comes out of the home, like, you can't let the simple things ruin the rest of your day, because it can happen, and it can happen just like that if you're not in control of how your happiness is, because your happiness can exude out.
So start practicing. Like, here's our tips for, when we're in the pits, what do we do? Kevin, I know he chooses to go to the gym. That's something that he goes and he does genuinely, like, have a shift when he comes back.
Totally.
Gets out endorphins,
oh
like,
my gosh.
alone
and you're feeling
time.
Good. And you get to listen to music. Like, who doesn't love music, right?
Right. For me, something that I know works for me, now this varies too. Like, do I have Phoenix or is it just us? So talking about kids today, for me, when he ends up going to the gym or just steps back to the bedroom and takes some space, I try to take Phoenix either for a walk or, like, we went to paint pottery the other day, get outside and, like, recenter with Phoenix, and help him clear. Yeah. So how do you help your kids clear? We do deep breaths a lot. Like, we'll sit and we actually found a book that was like a calm down book or something. I should have pulled that up for you guys. But it talks about, like, doing deep breaths and finding a space. We have an area called the Zen Den where he can go in and he can sit and, like, we don't really believe in timeouts, because when they're so little, we are on kind of the side that says it can badly affect them to just put them in a room and let them cry it out.
Yeah, because they don't understand what's going on, and then you put them in a room. You're like, you don't know what's going on, but just cry it out. No, that doesn't make sense. Go in there and explain to him. If he cries in front of you, hug him, understand, like, teach him what happened and how he can make it better. And he usually comes up to us and he tells us, well, I won't do that anymore, or I understand. Like, he gets it. He totally gets it.
They just need their hands held. So, you know, when you're trying to help your kid clear and you're trying to clear yourself, for moms, you know, sometimes like you are with a partner who works all the time. And if you guys are in trigger and they're working 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 9 to 7 every day, and then by the time they come home, you're trying to make dinner and you've got the kids. I mean, there's, you know, a talk that happened on Monday could not get solved till the following week because of life.
Yeah.
So you've got to find those ways that you can make it work for yourself to clear. And who knows, that talk by the following week could be a world different than what you think it might be. But you've got to find ways to help you and your kids. And if you guys need help, that's what we're here for. You don't have to do it alone. So, you know, we wanted to just kind of jump on today to talk a little bit about what we do. We both really love getting outside, getting fresh air, even if it's cold out. Like, you know, kids love everything. They love the rain, the snow, whatever. Just let them go be kids and just...
Can we go outside? It's raining. That's okay. Let's go jump in puddles. Like,
go jump in puddles.
I mean, it's just an imagination that we really need to just stop and think. And our kids have the untouched imagination that we really need to go back to. It's this whole learning of
inner child work.
Yeah, like go back. Just sit with yourself and be like, let's go back to imagination. Let's go back to life being amazing. I mean, some people may have not had the best childhood, but there are bits and pieces that you can remember that are stapled in your head that you can go back there and really be that pure energy and really not have everything bombard you and take everything personal.
Yeah, our kids teach us a lot.
They do teach us a lot. I'm learning a whole lot.
So our questions for you guys in a recap. So this was 2 of 6 videos. So we're going to be on for the next now 4 days. You know, we've got an amazing offer on our coaching that we're offering for you guys. So I'm going to let you do this last little wrap up pitch on who should be here, who should join us. If any of this resonates with you guys too, and if anything like that you, I don't know, if you co-parent with somebody or if your partner or if your best friend or somebody that you know needed something today that we talked about, please comment on here, share, like, anything, reach out to us. You can message us on our personal pages or on Brittany and Kevin and our website. You guys can also reach out, BrittanyAndKevinCoach, and read more about us and contact us via email if that's easier.
For sure. If you're ready to flourish, if you're ready to just break down those walls, if you're ready to choose happiness and just not revel in the miserable life of unhappiness, if you're ready to just be guided and have a good time and really enjoy and understand why you're here on earth and what your purpose is, and to just enjoy, I may have said this already, enjoy all aspects of life, like, join us. Come with us. Let us help you. Let us show you how our union has transformed our lives, transformed our families' lives, transforms our friends' lives, and we just want to help as many people as we can because we found it. We found our passion. We love doing this. I'm not a big fan of being up in front of people, and now this has taken me way out of my comfort zone, and I love it. Like, I sweat, but I'm like, so many endorphins are going through me that I'm like, this is it. This is to be able to help somebody from something that I'm doing and I'm living a daily life of. It's priceless. It's amazing. Like, just come.
So we're super excited. We've got a special offer. We're offering half off our one-on-one coaching packages for you guys. So reach out to us if you want to talk more about specifics on that. And we hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you for joining us in PJs with Coffee.
PJs with Coffee.
See you guys soon.
Love you.
Bye.